CMUEagles.com with Central Methodist head men's basketball coach Jeff Sherman as the Eagles prepare to host 7th-ranked Benedictine on Saturday inside Puckett Fieldhouse at 4 p.m. Central Time. Coach, looking at the Ravens, they had won 10 straight before being upset by Avila last week. Talk about the success that Benedictine has been going through, especially late in the season, and just what do you think maybe Avila was able to do that somewhat derailed the Ravens for a game?
Well, if I found out what Avila did, we'd sure try to do it. Benedictine's good. They've been top our conference nationally anyway all year. The funny thing is Evangel's actually been top of the conference start to finish. However, Benedictine's been pretty much a top 10 team in the country throughout the year. They're just very good. They've got everything that you could want. Returning champions from last year. They've got, I think, the best point guard, one of the best point guards in the country in Harris. They've got a tremendous inside threat with Messersmith, shot blocker, rebounder, probably the hardest worker in the conference. Outside shooters and Fisher. They're one of the most balanced teams our conference has had in a long time. Now, the funny thing is, we did beat them the first time. I think they had a lot of different elements that came in. We got lucky. Sometimes I think you create your own luck, but we did have some breaks go our way. They've lost 3 home games during this conference stretch, and that's very unexplainable with a team that's that dominant. They have a phenomenal backing with their student body, probably the best in the conference at this point. But bottom line is they're good. I think they're 7th in the nation right now. They're coming in with a little bit of a revenge factor. I think when Peru State had beaten them earlier this year, they went up to Peru and got them back. Made a rather good statement about their ability to do so. I think that this has been a game they've talked about for a long time. And from a coach's perspective, they've had the entire week to prepare for us. There haven't been any other games this week within the conference. So I think they're going to be very well prepared. They're just a very good team. It's going to be a huge challenge for us.
When you look at the first game, big discrepancy in the free throws, your team's ability to get to the line at least 10 more times from a makes perspective than they had even attempts. Is that something that you think will be a key in this game, is something that you stress for your team to focus on?
Well, I think there's no question. Put yourself in Benedictine's shoes. Following the game, you look at the stats and you find out that she only shot 1 free throw. I mean, what's the odds on that? I don't even know how we did that. It was never talked about. I was very pleased about our ability to get to the basket, and get to the free throw line. I will also say they did the same thing. We seemed to get out of the way. Maybe a reason why they didn't shoot free throws, they were able to score on us. I think we have to do a better job of defending. I think Benedictine is where they are because they have the best defense in the conference. They're very strong on the ball. They do a phenomenal job away from the ball. They rebound strong. They got good communication. They got good experience. So all those things make it very tough on another team offensively, especially. And our concern is, I think we're a very good execution team. This is the worst team to play. They do a phenomenal job of breaking up what you want to do. So our ability to keep grinding is going to be important. Our ability to keep the ball moving and keep after the play is broken down or whatever changes they've made for us to continue on. I think we're getting a lot better at that. But at the same time, not getting caught up in the score. I think the lower the score, the more it goes to Benedictine's way.
Scott Stegman was able to grab a number of offensive rebounds in the first matchup that helped make a difference in the 2-point win for your team. Maybe not on the scouting report for Benedictine the first time around, but as an undersized forward, I'm sure. Do you expect him to gain a lot of attention for this second game?
Well, I don't know if it's Scott so much, but since you brought him up, I will say that I don't think we could be more pleased with many of the performances that Scott's been able to provide for us. He was a huge factor. A lot of it the second, third chance rebounds. The ball's going loose, and we got a lot of those 50-50 plays. I think both teams are playing a lot better. I think both teams are a lot better than they were. This was a game that was, right there towards the middle of December. They've obviously had a little bit more success than we have. I think sitting at 15-7 for ourselves overall is good, but we're right there in that block in the middle with 4 or 5 other teams. That's only 1 game separation, and 1 game's going to make a huge difference. For us, shooting for a home court for the playoffs is going to be crucial. I think we have a lot of players who are starting to step up, play better. Mitch Farr being Player of the Week in the conference last week has been instrumental. He's shooting the ball much better. I think we have Quentin Hunter, Mike McCode, Cody Anderson, Greg Smith. All our guards right now are playing much, much better. But I think the key for us is much tomorrow is what is Mitch Wendling, Devin Pearson, Scott Stegman. Those forwards are going to be put to the test tomorrow. We had Eric McDaniel the first time we played Benedictine. Eric, as obviously everyone knows, was our best inside threat before we lost him for the season. We're getting much better learning to play without him, but Eric was huge in that first contest just with his energy. So we're going to have to be able to draw from many players to be able to compensate for that. And hopefully we get a good crowd, get a lot of the Puckett Fieldhouse magic, and you never know, but this is a big game.
As you just alluded to, Eric McDaniel, a major presence from an athletic standpoint, is not playing this time around. How do you think that changes the matchup inside?
Oh, it changes tremendously. It's changed every game we've played since Eric's played. And again, I guess until you lose somebody, you don't realize how fortunate that you were. Eric's a special player. So much energy, so much passion for the game of basketball, and he would do all the little things, and he'd play a lot of minutes for us. So the other thing is it brings other players in the program the ability to get additional minutes. Everybody wants to play, but you have a different style of team. We're not the same team without Eric. I don't know if we're, any better or worse, but we're a different type of team. What I'd like to see us more is get more energy. Leadership has been slacking at times without Palmer and Eric, but I think that's something, again, we are adjusting to. We're getting a little better. And again, we're excited. The month of February is the time you need to be playing your best ball. And we're on a 2-game winning streak right now. That's a little bit of momentum heading into Saturday's game. But at the same time, we're playing one of the hottest teams in the country. And we got them the first time, and so in many ways, we just only made them a little madder before they come in here. I'm not thrilled that Avila beat them last week. They've had all week to talk about that game and also prepare for our game, and so they're going to be coming in guns blazing. And I invite everybody to come if you want to see one of the best small college basketball games. Saturday at Puckett Fieldhouse, Benedictine Central Methodist. That'd be the game.
Well, finally, with Mitchell Farr coming off a career best 37 points in his last conference game last Saturday, as you just mentioned earlier, was named the Conference Player of the Week earlier on Monday. How do you expect the Ravens to defense against him, knowing that he had such a big performance in his last conference game?
They guard so well. He'll be guarded as well as he's ever been guarded, but that's just the way Benedictine does. I think it would be the same if he was not the Player of the Week. He's still a good player. He's still one that draws a lot of attention. They've got the best defensive team in the league, so it's going to be a challenge. The challenge is we don't get our first look all the time. We're able to have a lot of success because we're able to execute and get the plays that we want or that we intend to have. Benedictine does a great job of breaking that up. And so the teams that have success with Benedictine are the teams that keep playing, and you maybe get a lot of the things you weren't planning on. I would love to see Mitch have a big game, but I think the key for us as much Saturday is for maybe another player or two out of the blue to come away with a lot of the putbacks, just getting some extra 50-50 plays, going to the free throw line. But obviously we play well when Mitch plays well, so that'll continue to be a big key for us.